The man who was buried by WWE is now holding gold, and the man who WWE abandoned to another company just revealed his shocking new home. Drew McIntyre is celebrating his first title defense while AJ Styles has finally found refuge in TNA, and frankly, this is the most infuriating and exciting wrestling storyline we've seen in years. But here's what WWE doesn't want you to know: this move could change everything about the wrestling landscape, and we're breaking it all down right now. Let's talk about Drew McIntyre first, because his journey to this moment is absolutely wild. This is a man who was literally fired from WWE in 2014. They didn't think he had what it took. They didn't see the star potential. They didn't believe in Scottish Claymore kicks or the man behind them. Instead of crumbling, instead of giving up, Drew McIntyre went to Impact Wrestling and rebuilt himself from the absolute ground up. He became a world champion. He became the man in another company. And WWE? They came crawling back. When Drew returned to WWE, he wasn't just some returning veteran hoping for a decent push. He was a made man. He walked into WrestleMania and challenged for the World Championship. He won multiple title shots. He was positioned as a main event player. But here's the thing that frustrated so many fans: WWE kept playing games with him. They'd push him to the moon, then pull him back down. They'd make him look incredible one week, and then lose clean to someone they were building up the next week. It was exhausting to watch, and if you're reading this comment section, I know you felt it too. But something shifted, something changed. Drew McIntyre finally got his moment. He finally got his championship. And not just any championship, this is a world title that matters. This is a championship that comes with respect and prestige. And now, at his first title defense, the entire wrestling world is watching. The man who was fired is now the man everyone respects. How does that sit with you? Have you ever been counted out and came back stronger? Let me know in the comments. Now, let's address the absolute elephant in the room: AJ Styles and TNA. This is where things get really interesting and honestly, a little bit heartbreaking for WWE fans. AJ Styles is a living legend. The man is 56 years old and still performing at a level that would make wrestlers half his age jealous. He's been in WWE for nearly a decade. He's won championships. He's been to WrestleMania. He's done everything WWE could offer him. But somewhere along the way, WWE stopped utilizing him properly. Think about it. AJ Styles should be main eventing. He should be in championship matches every single week. He should be the guy that new wrestlers are learning from, the guy that rising stars want to face. Instead, WWE had him in mid-card feuds, tag team matches, and occasional title shots that didn't go anywhere. The frustration wasn't just for fans, it was for AJ himself. He wanted more. He wanted to be the centerpiece. He wanted to matter in a way that WWE wasn't letting him. So what happened? TNA came calling. Impact Wrestling, formerly known as TNA Impact, has been making major waves in the wrestling business. They've been signing talent that WWE either underutilized or outright ignored. They've been creating compelling storylines. They've been giving wrestlers the creative freedom that they've been craving. And AJ Styles, the phenomenal one himself, decided that his future was better served in a company that would actually use him. This is the part that should anger every WWE fan. This is the moment where you should be asking yourself, why did WWE let this happen? Why did they allow one of the greatest wrestlers of all time to walk away? The answer is simple and frustrating: because they didn't value him enough to give him what he wanted. They were content with having him on the roster, cashing in his star power when they felt like it, but never truly committing to making him the main event player he deserved to be. But here's what makes this story so compelling for the wrestling industry as a whole. AJ Styles going to TNA isn't just a wrestler changing companies. It's a statement. It's a declaration that the alternative wrestling companies are now legitimate options for established main event talent. For years, WWE has held all the power. They controlled the narrative. They controlled where the biggest wrestlers went. But now wrestlers like AJ Styles are choosing to leave because they believe they'll be better served elsewhere. Think about what this means for the future. If AJ Styles can walk away and go to TNA, who's next? What other WWE stars are sitting at home right now, frustrated with their position, wondering if they should explore their options? This single move by AJ Styles could spark a complete revolution in professional wrestling. And WWE, the company that controlled everything for the last 2 decades, might finally have to answer for how they've treated their talent. Let's circle back to Drew McIntyre for a second, because his story is the flip side of this coin. Drew is thriving in WWE. His first title defense should be absolutely massive. The company is behind him. The crowd is behind him. He's getting the push that every wrestler dreams about. And yet, even with Drew's success, we can't help but wonder, why does he get the treatment while AJ Styles doesn't? What's the difference between these two men? The answer might be simpler than you think. Drew McIntyre plays ball. He does what WWE wants him to do. He shows up, he works the schedule, he wrestles the people they tell him to wrestle. AJ Styles, on the other hand, came to WWE with his own vision. He wanted creative input. He wanted to be treated as the main event star he is. And WWE couldn't handle that. They couldn't work with someone who had a different idea of how his career should go. This is the real story here. This isn't just about two wrestlers going different directions. This is about the power dynamic in professional wrestling fundamentally shifting. WWE has spent decades telling wrestlers that they need WWE, that being in WWE is the ultimate goal, that everything else is secondary. But now, wrestlers are pushing back. They're saying we don't need you. We can build our own empire. And let's be honest, TNA is building something special. They've got great wrestlers. They've got compelling storylines. They've got momentum. AJ Styles going there isn't a downgrade. If anything, it might be the best career move he's made in years. He'll get to be the headliner. He'll get to be the focus. He'll get to work with wrestlers he hasn't faced before. He'll get creative freedom. But here's what I want to know from you in the comments section, because I genuinely want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think AJ Styles made the right call by leaving WWE? Do you believe that TNA can actually build something that rivals WWE, or is this just a stepping stone? And what about Drew McIntyre? Is his title reign going to be the beginning of something special, or will WWE pull the rug out from under him like they have so many times before? These are the questions we should all be asking. The wrestling world is at an inflection point. Drew McIntyre's first title defense and AJ Styles' move to TNA are both symbols of something bigger. They represent a shift in how the industry operates. For decades, it's been WWE versus everyone else. Now, it's starting to feel like it might actually be a real competition. And competition is good for wrestling. Competition pushes wrestlers to be better. It pushes companies to tell better stories. It pushes the entire industry forward. What does this mean for fans? It means we have legitimate choices. It means that if you don't like what WWE is doing, there's an alternative that's worth your time. It means that wrestling might be entering a new era where multiple companies can thrive simultaneously. Think about how incredible that would be. Imagine a wrestling landscape where you can watch WWE, TNA, AEW, and other promotions, and they're all putting on compelling content. That's not just good for fans, that's good for the entire industry. Drew McIntyre celebrating his first title defense should be a moment of pure joy. He's a guy who was counted out, who had to rebuild himself, who had to prove himself over and over again, and now he's finally getting his due in the company that didn't believe in him. That's a beautiful story. But it's also a story that makes us wonder how many other Drew McIntyres are out there. How many wrestlers had to go somewhere else before WWE decided they were worth investing in? The AJ Styles situation is the counterpoint to that question. AJ didn't wait for WWE to finally get it. He didn't stick around hoping that things would improve. He made a decision about his own future and he followed through. That takes courage. That takes confidence. That takes the kind of belief in yourself that not every wrestler has. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to share your thoughts in the comments. I want you to debate this topic with other fans. Do you think Drew will finally get a proper, long-term world title reign? Do you think AJ will thrive in TNA or will he miss the WWE spotlight? What does this all mean for the future of wrestling? These conversations matter. Your opinions matter. And I genuinely want to hear what you think about all of this. But before you do that, let me ask you this: if you were booking a dream match between Drew McIntyre in his prime and AJ Styles in his prime, who would win? Would the Scottish Warrior overcome the Phenomenal One? Would AJ's technical excellence overcome Drew's raw power? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you're as detailed as possible. I read every comment on this channel, and I love when you guys engage with these hypothetical scenarios. Share this video with your friends. Share it with people who care about wrestling. Share it with people who need to understand what's happening in the wrestling business right now. Because this moment, with Drew McIntyre celebrating his first title defense and AJ Styles confirming his move to TNA, this is a turning point. This is the moment when the wrestling landscape starts to shift beneath WWE's feet. And everyone should be paying attention. The Death Rider is celebrating. The Phenomenal One is seeking new pastures. And the wrestling world will never be quite the same. Thanks for watching Ring Rumble. This is the Wrestling Analysis channel where we don't just report the news, we dig into what it actually means. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the stories that matter in professional wrestling.